Hey everyone, it's Tiqqle and it is Alpha time. I got into the Shadowlands Alpha and we're going to be checking out all the Shaman specs as well as all the other specs, so make sure you stay tuned to the channel for all of that stuff coming out hopefully as rapidly as possible because things have been changing so fast. Coming out with patch notes, data mine models, a lot of different things, and we're going to jump right into it on the stream pretty much every day until we run out of time. And we're going to do a few other tricky things I'm not going to let you know about. You'll see, have to come by the stream or we'll make a video about it. But anyway, let's go into Shaman as number one, first elemental Shaman. We're going to focus on that. We'll have some more content and videos about the other specs for all the other classes as well. But let's get into it. The biggest change coming to Shaman and really to class design is how Blizzard is organizing classes and their skills. They're changing it to have an overall Shaman tree of abilities. This is different. This is the way it used to be, where you had a class identity and then you had specs. If you look in BFA, and I'll put a screenshot up on the screen, BFA only has skills and skill books for the different specs that you click. Not in Shadowlands anymore. Shadowlands has class-specific abilities. This goes across all of your different specs that you end up choosing. So this is where things like Chain Lightning, Flame Shock, Chain Heal, Stun Totem, Earth Ellie, your defensive cooldown, Earthbind, all of these things are now across all the different specs, which is pretty darn cool. They've brought back a lot of things. We're going to go into it, but that is one core design element that has been changed across all the different classes, and I think it is a great thing. There's a lot of different things to talk about, but I think number one, if you see I'm level 50, level cap is now 60. Keep that in mind. There's going to be a squish. It also has to do with the amount of health that people have. I now have 9,000 health instead of 450,000 health that I have in BFA. That's going to change. Stat numbers are also changing to be a lot less. My item level is 75 at level 50, so that gives you an idea of the scale of the game. It's kind of nice, though. We're kind of going back to a place where it's a lot lower, and that gives a lot of room to grow. So that's that. Talents have also changed. Now, PvP talents you should ignore. They haven't been updated yet, so we'll ignore that. For the talents themselves, we see some things that remain. We see some new things that are coming in, like Echoing Shock. We'll go through that in a second. But the biggest change to Shaman is the fact that we now only have mana. We do not have Maelstrom anymore. Maelstrom is no longer in the picture. That has been removed. Now, some people might say, what? Wait, what? It's a huge class design change. Basically, what it means is Ellie and Enhance is not a builder, spender dynamic anymore, which your spenders where your damage is, and your builders are where are less damage. It gives you more spiky kind of distribution of damage. Now it's all about rotating cooldowns and playing the spec, kind of maximizing overall pressure. Could it mean that we're going to be more of a Roddy class? Not really sure. So with that being said, Maelstrom's not in the picture anymore, which is actually something that's nice because now your abilities don't cost Maelstrom. Earthshock doesn't cost Maelstrom. It's not like that. But it also means the entire class design has changed. I'm going to go through it at kind of a quick pace here because I want to show you guys everything. We'll have additional videos about what it really means for the class, how that's going to feel different, and the kind of the comparison there. Now, let's talk a little bit about this changes to the spells, because when you change the Maelstrom, having Maelstrom, then what are you replacing it with, Blizzard? How's that going to work? Well, let's go through it one by one. We'll go through the abilities and then the talents. Number one, Shaman abilities. These are all things that are across all class now. Res, Hearthstone, whatever. Like I said, the Wall, Bloodlust, these are all things that are fine. Chain Heal. Interesting. Now Enhanced Shamans will have Chain Heal. LA Shamans will have Chain Heal. How effective is it going to be? Not really sure, but it's at least something that we'll be able to play with. I can use that, and I'm in the LA spec right now. It's kind of cool. I also have Flame Tongue Weapon. This is something that they brought back that was removed. This is the whole system of imbuing weapons is back. Imbue your weapon with an element of fire for 30 minutes. So I have to actually press it on the icon. It buffs it up. It gives me that buff. That says 60 minutes. That doesn't line up, Blizzard. What the heck? That's okay. They'll fix that. Causing each of your attacks to deal an additional 5 additional fire damage. Again, the number scaling is going to be all over the place, so it's going to be hard to kind of make that feel like it's going to be a lot or a little, but we'll be testing that further on. So that's on this page. Flame Shock is going to be on all Shamans. Frost Shock is going to be on all Shamans, but all of that duration, I believe all the shocks share cooldown with each other now. Now, we're all getting Lightning Shield back. Now, this is core to Elemental Shaman going forward because of what you'll see in a little bit about with Fulmination. Fulmination will control how much damage your Earth Shocks are going to be doing. Now, what else did you get? Ghost Wolf is on all specs. Healing Stream Totem, that means Enhance. That means Ellie are all going to have healing stream, healing party members around you. That's actually pretty darn cool. the Searing Totem is back with what a meme. I remember this back in Raiding Mob. That's kind of nice. Summons a Fire Totem. I'll just kind of go through these in case you guys don't know. Summons a Fire Totem at 5 HP at my feet, 30-second cooldown, and it does damage for 15 seconds, repeatedly attacking the target for 23% fire damage. Okay, is that a lot? I don't know. But this one, the healing stream, actually does seem like a lot. Healing anyone within 40 yards for 200 healing. That is quite a bit. And I wonder if that will be our answer to the kind of the self-healing stuff. Like maybe that's going to give Enhance the ability to self-heal a lot more than it was in BFA and other X-Specs. Healing Surge, again, is on all Shamans. Hex is on all Shamans. Tremor, Lightning Bolt, same exact thing. This doesn't generate Maelstrom anymore, but it just does damage. It also gives us Primal Strike, which is a meleeing ability. We're going to see how that feels on an Ellie and if that even is going to do anything. But maybe it does. Maybe it would be nice. I don't know. Maybe it's an easy way to kill things instead of Frost Shocking. You can use this on like a Grounding Totem or something like that, right? Then Wind Shear is on everyone and Incarn. So those are all the things that are Shaman specific now. They're not to a specific class. All right, let's go into Elemental and then we'll go into the other specs, right? Number 1, Cleanse. Okay, that's kind of nice, but it's kind of weird it is on Elemental and it isn't across the board. I wonder if... yeah, Purify Spirit, which is a little bit different. That dispels magic and curse. Okay, so Ellie has only dispel curse. Makes sense. Thunderstorm, we know it. We love it. Hasn't changed. Earthshock, this has changed. It doesn't cost Maelstrom anymore. Now it's increased the instantly shocks the target with concussive force, dealing certain amount of nature damage. Earthshock will consume all stacks of Fulmination to deal extra nature damage to the target. Okay, what's Fulmination, Tiqqle? Well, let me tell you. Lightning Bolt, this is it. It's a passive. Lightning Bolt and Chain Lightning and their overloads, which is our mastery, have a 50% chance to generate a stack of Fulmination up to 8 stacks. 8? I thought that used to be 20. But okay, 8. I mean, and I'm talking way back in the day. Earthshock will discharge all stacks of Fulmination on the target, causing an extra about 50 nature damage per stack of Fulmination. Okay, we don't know how big of a deal this is yet. I haven't played with it out in the world, but that's pretty cool. And that's the way it kind of used to be. So that's how we're going to... Earthshock's going to do more than just basic damage. It's going to get ramped up by that Fulmination stacks. Earthquake was changed. It doesn't cost Maelstrom anymore, but it has a 2.6 seconds cast, right? And the way you decrease the cast time is by each time Chain Lightning hits more than one target, the cast time of your next Earthquake is reduced by 20%, meaning if you stack it 5 times, you get an instant Earthquake, which is cool. That is a cooldown-based system. That is not a... or like an ability kind of weaving system. It isn't based on a spender, which is cool. Fire Alley, again, won't generate Maelstrom like it did in BFA, or Legion. This summons a Fire Alley, and it just does more damage. It does a lot of damage. It's a really big cooldown, but it also says, while the Greater Fire Alley is active, Lightning Bolt and Chain Lightning have a 100% chance to generate a stack of Fulmination, which is awesome. Now, again, we still have Stormkeeper, I'm pretty sure. So that will make it so I can get 2 stacks of Fulmination really quick through Stormkeeper. So that could help us kind of chain some damage together. Pretty cool. Another big one, Lava Burst. We know. We love it. Other big one is Spirit Walker's Grace. We can now use Spirit Walker's Grace as Ellie, meaning we can run and cast, which is pretty dang cool. That is a big plus. I do like that very much. It's 2-minute cooldown. So maybe it will help us do things like where mages will blink around a corner, right, to get a CC. Maybe we'll be able to use this to get a lot of CC and secure that a lot better. Now, it doesn't give us any protection to being interrupted, but it does let us cast on the move. 2 minutes, okay, I'll take it. What else? Elemental Fury is still our passive, increasing our crit damage by 50%, and then our mastery is still the same. That's pretty dang cool. That's pretty dang cool. I'm pretty hyped about these changes. Sad we didn't get Gust of Wind back, but this is cool. I mean, there's a lot of other dynamic things we can play with. Flame Tongue Weapon, etc. We have a Chain Heal if we need to heal our friends. Maybe it's actually going to be a useful hybrid ability. Maybe hybrids will be more influential than they are now. Even in BFA, self-healing and party healing as an Ellie was pretty darn strong. So that's pretty exciting. It's pretty exciting, and it's cool. I mean, the way it's underwhelming reading these things, but we'll see how it plays out because of the Fulmination and the Earthshocks and all this Maelstrom. No more Maelstrom. So we're just going to be weaving casts, which kind of makes me think we're more magey than, or more Frost Fire Mage than what we used to be with our builder spenders. So it is, I like the direction. I am very excited about it. It does look to be pretty promising. Now let's look at the talents. Earthen Rage, same. This tier is pretty much the same except for Elemental Blast. Elemental Blast was modified. Harness the raw power of the elements, dealing a certain amount of damage. Hopefully this is more than it was before. It also increased our secondary stats by 10 seconds. Elemental Blast will also consume Fulmination stacks, similar to Earthshock. So Elemental Blast may be worth taking and may do some big damage. Funny that it's in this tier, but maybe pretty good, 12-second cooldown, so it could be pretty good. Aftershock was modified because now we don't have, it's not going to refund Maelstrom, right? Earthshock has a 25% to not consume any stacks of Fulmination. That's pretty good. This talent is new. This is Echoing Shock. Shock the target for 300 damage, elemental damage, and creating an ancestral echo, causing your next damage or healing spell to be to cast a second time 1 second later for free. Now this is kind of curious because that's what our mastery does. So what does this really look like? We'll have to play with this a little bit. Could be interesting. And imagine that chaining with Elemental Blast. Maybe that means Elemental Blast goes off, triggers an overload, so we get a second one for free, and then we use Echoed on that, so then we get an extra one. And maybe that extra one can also proc a mastery proc. So that's pretty cool. Totem Mastery changed. It now generates 1 stack of Fulmination every 5 seconds instead of generating Maelstrom every 5 seconds, or every second, which is okay. That could be kind of good, to be honest, because maybe you have to kite, maybe similar to generating Maelstrom, having trouble. Maybe this will be about generating Fulmination because you can only do that through casting Lightning Bolt, Chain Lightning. This tier is pretty much the same other than Earthshield. This does say that the only change to Earthshield was Earthshield can only be placed on one target at a time. Only one elemental shield can be active on a Shaman at a time. I don't really know if this can be overlapped with Lightning Shield, but we'll have to test that out. Otherwise, because it says only one elemental shield can be placed, and if you look at Lightning Shield, it also says only one elemental shield can be placed on the Shaman at a time. So maybe this is just mostly for my teammates if I take this, which is kind of good because then I don't have to worry about putting it on myself. I would appreciate that. This tier has pretty much stayed the same. This tier has stayed the same. This tier has also stayed the same. But if you think about it, if Frost Shock now has... No, there's still no cooldown on Frost Shock. I thought there might be because the shocks might share cooldown, but no. So Ice Fury is same. Maybe Ice Fury is actually going to be viable now, but if you think about it, one of the main reasons why we would take it previously is to generate a ton of Maelstrom at the same initially in one cast, but now that's not really useful. And then for this last tier, when your spells cause an elemental overload, you get 2% haste. Probably, I still don't see this being a hot pick, but it is what it is. Stormkeeper is still here doing the same thing. Ascendance, again, same thing, so that hasn't changed too much. So it's been pretty limited changes having to do with pretty much only the first 3 tiers. But Echoing Shock could be tricky, could be cool to actually use. So we'll have to see how that goes. So that's the talents. That's how the skills are now set up for Ellie. Let's get into Enhance. Now, Enhance Shaman, a lot of people are so excited, but I'm going to go right off the bat. Apparently, two-handed Enhance is not going to be a thing. It was confirmed by Ian, I guess, in one of the talks or interviews that they had. But that's okay. We're going to take it. It's okay. It's okay. Now, you have to remember, well, like I said, all these Shaman abilities that we reviewed before, that's all available to Enhance. Enhance can now use Flame Shock. That's pretty cool. Enhance can now use Chain Heal. That's pretty cool. That's very cool. And what else can it use? It can use Healing Stream. That's self-healing. That's pretty good. Passive self-healing. We do like that. This might be more significant than some people think because a lot of people are saying Enhanced Shaman didn't get a big defensive cooldown that everyone's been asking for so long. Maybe this is self-healing. Maybe this is equivalent because it does say that it's active for 15 seconds. Then it is on cooldown for you have 15 more seconds while it's on cooldown. So every you're going to have it up 50% of the time you can have this up. So it could be good. I don't know if 200 is significant. It's about 2% health regen. I don't know. I'm not sure, but maybe that with Earth Shield is good. I'm not 100% sure. We'll have to get there. Now, Enhance has been changed a whole freaking lot. Like I mentioned, all these abilities are now are usable on Enhance, but let's talk about the Enhanced specifics. Now, the Enhanced specifics, they've been modified quite a bit. Remember, no Maelstrom anymore. Storm Strike. Storm Strike has been... it doesn't cost Maelstrom. It just does damage. It's on a cooldown base, right? Crash Lightning. Crash Lightning, again, hitting 2 or more targets enhances your weapons for 10 seconds, causing Storm Strike and Lava Shock to also deal damage to cleaving, and it also increases your Storm Strike. This is the way it is. Has been. Lava Lash actually has a longer cooldown now, but it is modified by haste. Wolves are same, but there is this now. We now have Wind Fury Totem. Drop it down for the boys. Summons a Wind Fury Totem with 5 health at the caster's feet for 2 minutes. Party members within 12 yards have a 10% chance when they auto attack to get an extra swing. We don't know what this animation looks like. I got to get into testing for that. We'll be making more on this, but this is a big freaking deal. Now, Wind Fury Weapon and Imbue. Remember, this is the way Shamans are going to be now. You imbue your weapon, which means you can get an enchant and an imbue, by the way. That's the way it used to be. I'm assuming it's going to be that way again. So I can imbue my weapon, and now I got the swirls. I got the freaking swirls ×2. Now, that is just so awesome. So awesome. That is so exciting. Now, I'm going to skip Maelstrom Weapon for a second. Stormbringer's is this exact same, except it just resets the cooldown on Storm Strike, and it triggers no cooldown. It doesn't actually buff it like it did in Legion and BFA. Otherwise, the only other change, or only other one, is Mastery increases the chance to trigger Stormbringer and Wind Fury, which is fine. This is the biggest change. This is the biggest change. When you deal damage with a melee weapon, aka melee or melee abilities, I'm hoping, you have a chance to gain a Maelstrom Weapon charge. Each stack of Maelstrom Weapon reduces the cast time of your next damaging or healing ability by 20%. That's a big deal. Why is that a big deal? That means I get instant cast Hex. Think of Feral Druids when they can get instant cast Cyclones. Now we can instant cast Hex. The other thing we can do is heal. Okay, sure. But we can also do now Elemental Blast. Elemental Blast is going to be beastly. I'm hoping, I haven't tested it yet, but that is, you're now going to be seeing people using ranged abilities. Enhance is becoming more of a hybrid, it looks like. Obviously, I'm going to be smacking people with Storm Strikes, but I'm going to be able to do things at range. If people kite me, I'll be able to keep up damage, hopefully. Now, of course, Maelstrom Weapon generating these things is a proc-based activity. It gets to 5 stacks, then we get to go and start casting, right? Or instant cast, I should say. It also makes me wonder on how good Healing Surge is going to be if I'd be able to instant Healing Surge. Because if you think about it, in BFA, I was able to instant cast Healing Surge, spam myself. Now, that was nerfed very hard after BFA Season 1 PvP, but still, it was still a thing. So maybe it's coming back. Maybe it's not going to be as good. I'm not really sure. Again, the scaling of things has changed a lot. We've gone to level 60 max and a lot of other things. So now let's look at the talents. Okay, they have reorganized a bunch of talents, and I do appreciate some of the changes they have made because I did read them before here. So Boulder Fist, exactly the same. Forceful Winds. This was modified a little bit. Wind Fury causes each successful Wind Fury attack within 15 seconds to increase the damage of Wind Fury by 50%, stacking up to 5 times. I think this went down. I think that percentage changed. Now we do get Elemental Blast as a cast ability. We're not going to sit there and cast it. We're going to be dependent on getting those Maelstrom Weapon procs and then dumping this on someone. And I do hope that it does some serious damage. And also, you would wonder, maybe we need to go Sky Fury with this now. But we'll have to test that out a little bit more. Landslide, exactly the same, increasing Storm Strike damage by 100%. Hot Hand being changed because if you can remember, we won't have Azerite powers anymore. Those are gone. Melee auto attacks with Flame Tongue weapon activate 5% chance to reduce the cooldown on Lava Lash by 75%. Remember, Lava Lash did get a little bit longer of a cooldown and increases the damage of Lava Lash by 100%. We'll see how this plays out. Totem Mastery increased the damage by 10%, and Wind Fury trigger. Haste, Lava Lash, pretty standard. All of this is pretty much the same, except remember Earth Shield versus Lightning Shield. Now, a big change was Hailstorm. Hailstorm used to affect your Frostbrand, which is a slowing ability, which I don't even see anymore, by the way. I think our slow is just now our totem, which is Earthbind. I don't see any other mechanism to slow someone. Hailstorm is now... Storm Strike resets the cooldown on your shock spells. Okay. Oh, no, I lied. We have Frost Shock on. Oh, we do have Frost Shock on Enhance. Oh, that's so good. And Flame Shock. So in these, we'll share cooldown, is my understanding. Frost Shock and Flame Shock will share a cooldown of 6 seconds, so that will be able to slow people at range, which means I don't need that, what we used in the past Frostbrand weapon. We don't need that, which is actually so good because it was so annoying to maintain that with everything else. So I'm very, very excited about that. Now let me just go check. Yeah, Flame Tongue. Yep, so we don't need to maintain those buffs anymore. That was one of the most annoying things to me on Enhance in PvE, PvP was maintaining Flame Tongue, maintaining Frostbrand. I just did not like that. It seemed, and it barely did anything, and it made you work really hard for it. This now says Storm Strike now resets the cooldown of your shock spells. Hello, that's awesome. That means I'll be able to reset the cooldown on this with Frost Shock or on Flame Shock, spreading that damage out. Now, Frost Shock says it does 100 damage. I don't know if that's a ton. Yeah, okay, it says Frost Shock shares cooldown with Flame Shock, so that's good. But that's actually pretty cool, resetting that, and that means we might be able to get some big dam out of there. All right. Searing Assault also changed. This is a 1-minute cooldown. Strike your target with your offhand weapon for fire damage. For the next 10 seconds, your Searing Totem attacks 100% faster, and your Flame Shock periodic period is reduced by 67%. I think the Flame Shock period is reduced. I don't really understand what that means, actually. I think they need to reword that. I'll put it in a ticket because I don't get it. But yeah, we're going to be using this Searing Totem, which will be doing some damage for us over time. And so that'll be increasing the damage by it. So that's actually pretty cool and a lot different. Overcharge. Attune your weapons with the elements and generate 5 Maelstrom weapon stacks instantly and 1 stack of Maelstrom every 1 second for 10 seconds. This means you get 5. This means you'll be able to dump damage into Elemental Blast at range, and then you'll get another few stacks very quickly, be able to dump another one. That is very cool. So imagine you have 5 stacks of Maelstrom Weapon, you dump an Elemental Blast. Maybe that's our hardest hitting ability. Maybe it's Lightning Bolt. I don't know. You dump that range ability. You press this, you dump another one, and then 2 seconds later, you get enough Maelstrom Weapons to dump another one. That would be pretty fun. That'd be pretty cool. This is definitely a different... This tier is showing off to be maybe giving Enhance a little bit more variation in their rotation. Very cool. Very excited. I'm excited about that. This tier is pretty much exactly the same. Crashing Storms is the same. Now, Ellie Enhance gets Stormkeeper. What? That's insane, right? And maybe you can definitely use your Maelstrom weapon stacks to instant cast a Stormkeeper. Charge yourself with lightning, causing your next 2 lightning bolts or chain lightnings. Imagine that. Imagine that. To deal 150% more damage and be instant cast. That is very cool, man. That is very cool. Wow. Causing the next 2 lightning bolts or chain lightnings to deal 150% more damage. What? That's crazy, actually, because the Ellie version doesn't buff chain lightning, does it? No. That's actually really cool. I just double checked. No. Yeah. The Ellie version only gives 150% damage to lightning bolt. That means chain lightning gets buffed by 150%. Are you kidding me? And I'm hoping that the scaling is good enough so that the casted abilities from Enhance are very good. Dude, Enhance is looking insane. That is crazy. We're going to be taking that. Sunder, it's been fun. It's been fun. We're taking that. We're going to chain lightning people from range. I could be a very range-based setup or a melee-based setup. That is very cool. Enhance looking awesome. All right, Elemental Spirits, same. Earthen Spike, pretty much same. Ascendance, pretty much same. Whoa. Wow. Wow. Enhance, insane, insane, insane. All right, that's Enhance. Let's go to Resto really quick. Let's check out. I haven't actually looked at this one too much. Now, again, all the Shaman abilities are going to be exactly the same. You're going to have some damage with Searing Totem, some other things, Frost Shock, not just Earthbind. Your Shaman's going to be slowing people for real, not just using Flame Shock on people. That is awesome. That's actually really cool. And it could potentially melee people with their melee abilities. All right, so let's go to the Resto. The abilities again. Manatide Totem. Hello? Every 3 minutes, summon a Manatide Totem at the people's feet, granting 100% increased mana generation for the raid or party members. Hello? That's very good for PvE. That is cool. That is useful. That's utility. We like that. For PvP, maybe it's good. Maybe? 100% increased mana regeneration. That's just like Memory of the Lucid Dream, which is said to be pretty decent. So, okay. Earthen Shield increases. Yep, this is the same exact thing. Only 1 elemental shield can be acted on the Shaman at once. Okay. Riptide, I'm pretty sure that is the same. But now, if you remember, though, Azurite powers are no longer around, so you're not going to be getting that shield if you're Riptiding them below 50% health. All right. Healing Tide, pretty much the same, I think. Spirit Link, same. Castable, yep, so that doesn't have a Aura Mastery behind it. Okay, same. I think this is same. Oh wait, max 2 charges. Does this have default 2 charges, or is it because of my spec? Oh, it's because of my spec. Okay. Water Shield, dude. Water Shield is back. Grants 30. Oh, dude, are you kidding me right now? That is insanity. Oh, only Earth Shield or Water Shield. There it is. Confirmed. What? 3 stacks. Melee on you triggers additional mana restoration. Oh my god, this is giving me flashbacks, dude. This is awesome. This is good. Thank you for bringing that back, Blizzard. Okay, that is really nice. That is really nice. Lava Surge. Let's go. Lava Burst every day. All right. Increase healing from your spells by a certain percentage based on the health. Yep. Okay, that's same. Resurgence is exactly the same. Tidal waves. Exactly the same. Cool. There's not that much difference here, but the changes they did make I do appreciate, like Water Shield. That is cool. Manatide, that is cool. Let's look at the talents. I haven't looked quite as much into this. Okay, so this looks like the same abilities that are in BFA. Surge of Earth, what the heck is this? Consumes up to 3 charges of your Earth Shield on a target to heal up to 6 allies near your Earth Shield by a certain amount per charged. That is cool. I don't know how it'll be in PvP, but PvE, that's cool. And I've probably PvE'd a lot, probably the most as for a healer as Arsham. Wow. Okay, Deluge, Healing Wave, Healing Surge, Chain Heal for an additional amount on targets affected by your Healing Rain or Riptide. That seems very good. That seems very good. Okay. Echo of the Elements. It's exactly the same, it looks like. All right, Spirit Wolf, Earth Grab, Static, same. Ancestral Vigor, Targets, yep, that's exactly the same as before. Earthen Wall, okay. Ancestral Meme Totem, the Meme Totem. Wind Rush, okay. Graceful Spirit, it seems same. This seems same. Flash Flood when you consume totem raids. Okay, cast time, same. All right, that's same. Wellspring, that's fine. Yep, okay, so the rest of them are pretty much the same. Dang. That's pretty cool, though. Okay, I'll say this. Our Shaman was not changed that much, but they were given a lot more totems, and they were given their water shield back. There are some people that are going to be really hyped about that. That is really cool, especially the PvEers out there. Now, guys, you got to remember, when you look at your character, you look at the neck, that's not going to be an Azerite neck anymore. You don't have Azerite traits anymore. You have to. It's going to take a while for us to get used to that, but this is it. This is what you have to work with. On all the specs of Shaman, this is what you have to work with, which is pretty cool. They've taken the, I'm like expecting there to be more layers here, like more complexity. And we'll talk about this in another video because I could go into depth about, I'm so glad I don't have to use any more brain power to understand what's going on in the video game. But with, oh man, dude, so far, Ellie seems insane. Very cool new abilities, more versatility here, and some of the talents look cool. Enhanced looks mind-blowing. Enhance looks insane, just insane. And Resto has some additional quality of life changes, but yeah, Enhance, I gotta say, wins the cake for the most insane thing around. So guys, with that being said, this is the first Shadowlands video that I made. This is gonna be raw. We're gonna be trying to pump these out very quickly. I appreciate all the support lately, especially in the bunker I'm in, 45 feet underground. Let me know, guys. Oh, there's something else here. There's this totem thing. I don't know what it's about. But maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe I can keybind this. I don't really know. But I can like set totems in here or something. I don't know. But guys, with that being said, I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for hanging out. We're going to be having a lot more Shadowlands Alpha content, beta content. We're getting ready for the Shadowlands. Okay, everybody? Well, with that being said, we'll see you in the next video or on stream every day, 9 p.m. Take care, everybody. Bye. Earthquake has a 25% chance to not consume any seismic thunder. You're good. I'm got to make videos, Dad. All right. And then